speaker. Can you guys still hear me? I'm just making sure. Can you see if someone can hear me? Can't. Someone says I'm muted. Bill Lamb says I'm muted. But let's have some. All good now? Yeah, thank you. So we have some free agency moves. So the Jets signed Geno Smith we signed Demario Davis first to a tier $22 million contract, and then we signed Geno Smith. We signed a lot of other good. Got a lot of new players. Demario Davis is the main one. We signed Micah Fitzpatrick to. We got a lot of. So we have Joseph Asai. We got Joseph Asai from the Bengals, and then we got Demario Davis, David Onyemata, Dane Belton, Nashawn Wright, Cade York, Max Mitchell. We kept Cisco, we kept Ngwangu, we kept Beck, we kept Max Mitchell, and then we got Nashawn Wright, and then we got Dane Belton. So let me grade each of the moves. So Demario, very good move, but we're gonna do a film breakdown. If anyone wants to call in, we're gonna have a wonderful call-in show. But let's do a little film breakdown on Demario Davis. Let's see what he brings to the table. Let's see. But my first impressions on the move, I think it was a good move. We needed toughness. We need players with an attitude. We need players that fight. We need players that have character. Look at this. We need players that fight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, we gotta run. His eyes where the running back is. You see him. You see him bounce outside. He right there. Great tackle. Great open field tackle. Come on now. This against a good running back too. So look, we got zone. So his zone's right here.
So they're playing zone defense. They're playing two right, and the Panthers this was like all the way back in 2020. Eli Bet says, Max, is Demario Davis your favorite fantasy sign so far? Yeah, I think he's my favorite so far. He's my favorite player, Eli Bets. He's a very good player, but we're doing a film breakdown right now.
This is his gap. Where 67 is, that's his gap. Let's see what he do. See, he overplays it because that's smart. He just disrupts the whole play. That was a good play by Demario. All right, let's see what we got here. You got pass. Where's he at? He's guarding DJ Moore, a good receiver. So he can cover too.
Demario Davis in this film, he's very good covering. Very good. He's just a very good player. I like the Minka. Eli Bet says, I like the Minka move a lot. He will make our secondaries make sure it's locked in. Agreed. Especially because Minka is very good at like getting interceptions. Eli, we had a terrible defense last year. How do we have a defense last year with 0 interceptions? That is total levels of ineptitude from this defense. Eli, we could point out all day how our defense last year had 0 interceptions.
Let's see what we got here. We got a zone. Yeah, we got a zone. See, he already coming downhill. He already playing downhill. And he mean McCaffrey right there. Look, he right there. Let's see what happens. Got no game. That's against one of the better running backs in the league. See, hey, I played linebacker in high school, bro. So I know what he's looking at. Like right here, you looking at zone and you got this dude coming across. You don't look at this dude. Demario Davis not supposed to look at this dude. He's supposed to play his own. Let's see what happens. Makes a tackle. All right. You got pass. You got running back on there. Gets the running back. Open field tackle. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Eli Betts in the super chat says it was a pathetic performance from the defense last year. No question. so true, so true. Eli, I mean, our defense last year was a don't want to say it was a shit show last year. Eli Betts, it was a shit show. We had the worst defense of all time. We the defense last year was 0 interceptions. Eli Betts, my question says, are you concerned that maybe Demario's lost a step? No, he's so good. He's a so good player. I mean, he's better than half our defensive players from last year. That's for sure. Quincy was terrible. Sherwood was the worst Mike linebacker in the National Football League. He was terrible. So I'm not concerned about it. You know, could you imagine Styles and Demario though? Man, I would love that. I think Styles can be a good player, but you know what, Eli, this is my draft strategy. This is my draft scenario. We have to go one offensive player, one defensive player. Shoot me if we go defense with both the picks. Shoot me. One of the worst draft decisions of all time. Shoot me, Eli. Probably one of the worst draft decisions. You can't go with both defense, especially because we need a receiver on the board. Well, there's Malachi Lemon. We got, if the receivers are off the board, we can get Sadiq at 16. There's a lot of options, Eli. We got Sadiq. We got Eli Betts says Sherwood has a bounce back year. I'm certain of it. Sounds good. Saruka in the chat says, "What's up, boys? What's up with you? How you doing today, Saruka? How you doing?" We got it. We got it.
He got his own.
Eli Betts says, "Max, I wouldn't be mad at back-to-back defensive players. I know how the board shapes up. Really, Eli? Even the sport shakes up. Shoot, we go defense. We need offense. You know, the NFL. I mean, I understand the previous Super Bowl champions were defensive. Like the Seahawks had dominant defense. Okay, the Eagles were dominant. Okay, but you know what would really carry them? Okay, their defenses may carry them, but they had productive offenses as well. Our wide receiver 2 right now. So Garrett Wilson's wide receiver 1. Our wide receiver 2 right now is Adonai Mitchell. How concerned are you? And we couldn't even get one in free agency, wide receiver 2s. We couldn't get Pickens off the market. We couldn't get Pierce off the market. You know, we couldn't even, but we're signing these defensive players. I mean, I'm glad we're signing defensive players. I mean, our defense last year was a total, utter embarrassment and a shit show. It was bad. But really, do you think we're going both defensive players? You really think that? Shoot me if we go defense. Shoot me.
Okay, you got pass, screen. He read that perfectly.
Yeah, he read that perfectly. That's for sure. Guy, how about the Mets? GK3, how about the Mets? True. They won 11-5 today. Very dominant performance by the Mets. You know, the Pirates, they weren't even that good. But I agree with you. Eli Betts in Super Chat says, I respect the Max. We need some weapons, no doubt. 80 looks good towards the end of the season, the year, though. Maybe a slot guy, but hopefully Aaron Smith can take the next step and show something. 100%. Aaron Smith needs to show something. He was terrible last year. And Aaron Mr. Trust Me, Bro Glenn says, he's going to be a special player. Let's hope he improves year 2, but let's see, you know. Gary's King, Sir Luca, after one game, I can say the lineup looks better than last year. True, because you know why? They actually have defense. You know, I didn't watch the entire Mets game, but look, they have passion, they fight, that's what we need in a baseball player, especially in baseball. We need players that have muscles, we need players that fight. That's the old school mentality. It's how winners are born. They're born from fight. They had passion. They're undeniable. They had fight. They had talent. You know, that's how you win. We got a lot of it.
Look at his eyes, bro. He's not looking at all this. He sees it right there. That's why I say he's one of the better linebackers in the league. His ability to read the play is phenomenal. Phenomenal. That he might not be the fastest, he might not be the most athletic, but I feel like he's one of the smarter linebackers in the league. So you got to pass, man on man with the running back. Good tackle. Great tackle. You got zone. Now this is a pass. This right here, a pass. Because you see the linemen, they going back, they going out for route. So this is a pass or play action. He sees that. Look, he sees that, and he comes and covers this dude across field, makes a perfect play. That's great. That's great. You got a pass screen. He's there. He's there.
But overall, I would grade the Demario Davis move. It was an A. Eli Betts says, Max, there were rumors about Broncos wide receiver being available for trade. I just don't think they would want to move off a young receiver on a rookie contract. What receiver? Pat Bryant? Like, which receiver? Marvin Mims or Troy Franklin? That's a rumor. That's a rumor, Bats. I'm looking it up right now. Mims, Franklin, one of those two. Okay, Mims. Okay, I would understand. Maybe he'd be good, like mid-round guy, but because Daramuji has ties to George Payne and the Broncos and Sean Payne, but really, but Franklin, do you think he's gonna move off? He was terrible. The guy's terrible. He should be pumping gas in Jersey somewhere because the guy can't cut it. He's boring. He's lazy. He's like, we're not gonna trade for Franklin. No. Eli Betts says Broncos love Pat Bryant. I don't think they're moving off of him. Agreed. The next move I want to discuss, is the wonderful move that we got, Micah Fitzpatrick. And here's my thoughts on the move. Here's my overall analysis. Here are my initial thoughts. I think it was a great move. The guy's from New Jersey. He was from Old Bridge, which is in New Jersey, Monmouth County. He went to Alabama for a while. Got drafted by the Miami Dolphins in 2018. Signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2019, 2023. And then re-signed with the Dolphins. And, what's really great about Micah Fitzpatrick, he's a very good safety, very good ball hawking safety. He's very good at getting picks, very good bringing tackles, covering the receivers, Gary's king and says, Max, who do you want the Jets to draft at quarterback? I want Diego Pavia, third or fourth round. I was watching highlights of Diego Pavia yesterday. Oh my God, that guy is so good. The only concern, he's 5'9", and his character concerns, but oh my God, I would draft him. People people are pontificating over the draft. They're like, oh my God, draft Ty Simpson. I don't think Ty Simpson's bad. You're not drafting him 16. Sorry. I'm not drafting him at 6. Everyone's pontificating, draft Ty Simpson 16 or 33. You can wait 3 rounds later, draft Pavia. Not a bad quarterback. Give him a chance, just because, he's 5. People complain he's 5'9". Like, bro, Drew Brees is good. He's 6'1". He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Kyler, okay, maybe he wasn't the most appealing quarterback. Maybe he's disappointed. 5'11", but he had a couple good seasons with Cliff. Not a bad quarterback. Russell Wilson, 5'10". Wasn't terrible. Just because Pavia's 5'9" doesn't mean he's bad. Like, his arm strength's good. If you turn around Vanderbilt, Bill, they're giving Mims every chance to make plays. I think the Broncos like him as well, but Waddle does exactly what Mims does, besides return punts. True. Gary Singh says, Diego Pavia is an interesting choice. Yeah, I wouldn't draft Simpson at 16. Would not either. I would not draft him at 2. I won't draft him at 16. I think, as a prospect, I think Ty Simpson is getting overdrafted. Seriously, there's only one good quarterback this year. Fernando Mendoza is the only good quarterback this year. There's no number 2 quarterback. So I feel like Ty Simpson is going to be overdrafted. My concern, Ty Simpson, he only has 15 starts in college football. And if you have 15 starts, oh my God, that is terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like, how do you have 15 starts in college? Like, Trey Lance was a good example of this. He was drafted in 2021, only had like 14 or 15 career starts. Not good at all. not good. He was terrible. I mean, granted, he had ACL, but there's just quarterbacks who had 15 starts in college or less, and they're just not good. Sorry. I'm not drafting 16. If he's there 33 or 44, okay, swing it, but I'd rather take Pavia in the 4th or 5th round. Gary, if you could turn around Vanderbilt football, Vanderbilt's been probably the crappiest program of all time. Like, they were like, I watched the SEC Any Given Saturday show. They're on the point of relegation from the SEC. No one took them seriously in the SEC. Vanderbilt and SEC was as a joke. Pavia turned around New Mexico State. If you could turn around Vanderbilt from a team that no one even cares about, get blown out of here, 0-10, it's like a bowl contender, not even to a playoff contender. If you could turn around Vanderbilt football, you could turn around the Jazz. That's just my thoughts on it. Like, if you could turn around a program like Vanderbilt, he has he has arm strength. He's a good NFL arm. You know, he's very talented. You know, he's just good at maybe his character or size, but I would draft him. And he has heart. Eli Betts says the Jets will draft a quarterback in the draft, no doubt. What quarterback and what round is the $1 million question? True. Pavia, round 4 or 5. Drew Aller's another good option, round 3 or 4. Bill M says Pavia needs a step stool throw over the O-line. You know what else needs a step stool? Beast Breaker. Let's see if Beast Breaker is on this show, but Beast. I mean, what does he do besides sit in his ladder? I mean, because in the Dangerous Alliance, Beast thought he was going to run that region, but come on, Leany is upset him because Leany's just a better caller in the Asmaniac community. Like, come on. I don't know if Pavia can lead a group of football players. He can. But why do you say that, Eli? Because of the Heisman Trophy performance? Like, come on. Why do you think that? Gary King says, Max, can you do the salsa dance? I can, but from the top rope. Let's see. This is the Aaron Glenn salsa dance. This is the salsa dance. This is the Aaron Glenn salsa dance. That's a salsa dance. Bill M. Gary. That was a salsa dance right there. Oh, man. Bill M. But in the next move of the trade, we got Geno Smith. My initial thoughts, Geno, probably he was good on 2022, 2024 in the Seattle Seahawks. But on the Raiders, he was terrible. Geno Smith should be pumping gas in Jersey somewhere because the guy can't cut it. He's boring. He's not even good. He had 32 interceptions last year. But I understand with the Raiders. I mean, with the Raiders situation, he had a terrible offensive line. Terrible. His offensive line was probably the worst in the league. It was so bad. Brendan Carroll, Pete Carroll's son, was terrible. The offensive linemen had to have their own meetings because Pete Carroll's son was just terrible. So maybe he could get Geno to pass. Maybe he'll turn back to 4. But even Seattle, his last year, he was terrible. He wasn't even that good. But granted, Ron Grubb wasn't a good coordinator. But look at the Seahawks. After they get rid of Geno, Sam Darnold, who's one of my favorite quarterbacks, probably better than Geno, won a Super Bowl with them with a dominant defense and a good running game. So let's see. Honestly, that Mad Max better than Victor Cruz. Thank you. Better than Aaron Glenn, that's for sure. Better than Mr. Trust Me, bro. That's for sure. Max muscles. I have bigger muscles than Beast. I have bigger muscles, okay. But let's see if Beast Breaker is on this show. Let's see who's on this show. Let's see if Beast Breaker is on this show because low-key. Yeah, but honestly, look, we got Geno Smith, but let's do a little Geno Smith film breakdown. Let's see what he's going to complain about the interceptions, probably.
this has been just such a disappointing start to the season for the Raiders, who a lot of people had hopes for. They were kind of a dark horse playoff team for a lot of people. Ultimately, does not seem to be going that route. Geno Smith's getting the lion's share to blame, but it is not all his fault. Like for example, this play, 3rd and 18. Colts are, for some reason, giving the Raiders a one-on-one matchup on the outside. So, okay, Raiders are going to try and see if they can take advantage, right? Watch as Geno Smith is going to take the snap right here. And there is a bit of a window on this play. It's Dante Thornton Jr. who was running the route. Have an opportunity to make this play. Honestly, this is a nice throw and just not quite able to be complete. I'm not going to say that's like a bad job by Dante Thornton. It's just ultimately, I mean, for Dante Thornton, I mean, the guy has 5 catches in his career so far through 5 games. Like he's a young player who hopefully you can get something out of. But as of right now, they don't exactly have like great players on the outside. And when you don't have great players on the outside, it makes the quarterback look worse, which I do think has been a part of it. Like this one's another one where it's going to be a zone coverage concept. What they're going to do is they're going to run play action to get kind of everyone over the middle to move further in. And then they're going to try and hit a receiver going towards the left here. It's more or less a one-on-one matchup. It's Trey Tucker, who I like Trey Tucker. I think Trey Tucker has, in some ways been their most consistent receiver this season. But still, Smith is going to take the snap, runs the play action. Tucker gets some separations, throws a bit off, and Tucker also, I mean, he'll tell you that he should have caught that one. So, and again, I'm not trying to say Tucker stinks or anything, but just like, there were some plays where it's like the receivers could have helped Geno Smith out, right? It's not all on Geno Smith. And a lot of times the worst plays by the receivers are the ones that you don't even notice when watching the broadcast because there's no one getting open and then the quarterback holds on to the ball and gets sacked or makes a bad decision, right? But also there was just some, this was a fluky play that definitely hurts things. They're in the red zone, have an opportunity.
Got to make that throw, Geno. It's so true. That was a bad throw, honestly, Eli. Very bad throw.
To try and make it a 1-score game, and it's batted up and intercepted. Fluky play. Hard to blame the quarterback. I always kind of just say not a lot you can do there as an offense. Just give credit to the defense on those plays. But then also there's stuff like this, which is, so this is again, one-on-one matchup. Part of why the Colts are doing these on 3rd downs is because they don't trust that the Raiders are going to hit on these plays. Watch as when Smith takes the snap, it's Jack Beck who is running this route. And is it open? A little bit. This is, at least you want to give him an opportunity to try and see if he can get the conversion on this play, right? I see why Smith wants to make this throw. But ultimately, this just isn't really a competitive ball on that play. And this was later on in the game. I mean, you got to at least give your player a chance to make a play on this one. And Smith just didn't do that. So, yeah, not an ideal throw on that one. He also had this one where he's going to essentially just throw this one into double coverage. It's 40-3. You're trying to make a play. I'm going to be a little bit more forgiving in a situation like that. But ultimately, it is kind of the symptom of a bigger problem, right? This is something this is not a throw you want to have on your resume. And it's they can't get guys open. Smith is having to try and fit the ball through tight windows, and he's not doing a good job of not making those throws, basically. Also, got to talk about this next one. So this is going to be a cover 2 zone play that the Indianapolis Colts are going to be in right here. This is an interesting play. So this was the second interception. Kind of a lot of moving parts here. So I'll try to explain this in a way that doesn't get too annoying.
Gary Skegg says, Max, do you see yourself winning the As Maniac tournament? Yes, I do. First up, we already beat James B. First up is Australian Jets fan. He thinks he's gonna compete with me. He is not. I'm gonna be promoting this event on their own campus. That we have the Sweet 16. Whoever gets me, they're gonna be overconfident. They're gonna think they're gonna beat me, but nope. Let's see. I could lose the Sweet 16s, whatever. But and then once I'm done facing Australian Jets fan, we get our next opponent, and then our Elite Eight is gonna be set. Me versus the big fella. Our big little rivalry in the Dangerous Alliance region. I'm gonna probably see. Let's see with the big fella. I'm probably gonna beat the big fella, and then in the final 4, we have Neil. I'm Neil, my projected bracket. Neil thinks he's gonna beat me because he's been a loyal caller of Jake Asman for 3 years. Come on, Gary. Neil's not gonna beat me. And then in the finals, we have Charles Gorman of the Grown Ass Man, or Gary 3D Boxing of the Extraordinary region. Okay, maybe we can get props to Gary. But once I'm done with Neil, Gary's Gary is going to be a bulldozer that I'm going to run over. So let's see. But I think I could win it. Gary, always be confident in yourself. Always be confident. Gary's King says Neil's getting upset by Chef Kev. True. Bill, focus on your matchup. Honestly, Bill, just focus on your matchup. I need to focus. I'm focusing on my matchup. I'm locking in with Australia and Justin. I'm focused on the matchup. I have the eye on the prize.
Annoying and complicated, but okay, cover 2 zone. But the way the Colts are going to be doing this is a little different than your regular cover 2 zone. Watch as they're going to have a player who is lined up as though he's going to play in coverage. He's going to rush the passer right here. Essentially what then happens is that a defensive lineman on the other side of the field will drop back into coverage. So you're still putting 7 guys in coverage and rushing 4, but with this exotic kind of pressure, it can do one of 2 things. A, it could get someone to the quarterback right away if the offensive line doesn't pick this up. But B, it could also confuse the quarterback potentially. Although on this play, I gotta be honest, I don't think that's actually what happened. So let's talk about what's going on further down the field, because it's an expression. When there's a blitz, you want to throw it to where the blitz is, and that's what Smith is going to look towards. First, the number 1 receiver is running that route. You see how he's going right towards where a Colts defender is. The idea, I think, is that, well, for Smith, okay, that defender should be taken out of the play. So if another receiver running that route, the idea should be, unless someone over the middle gets up quickly enough to knock this one away, this could be a completion. So that's what Smith is looking towards. However, when he takes the snap, this is just kind of a brilliant play by the Colts, I think. It's Mekhi Blackman, and he's just jumping this route. So he kind of is being smart where he knows the situation and knows what Smith has played. Of course. All right, let's talk Geno Smith. Rough day for the...
But really, Geno Smith wasn't good last year. He was just terrible last year. Look how bad it. But really, what's wrong with Geno? He just stares down the receiver. Last year, he had 19 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. He led the league last year with the most amount of interceptions. Max, can you rewind that? Did you not call an alert on that defender? Was that just a great disguise? I think it was. But so Geno was terrible last year. 19 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. Last year on the Seahawks team in 2024, his last year, 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. 2023, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. 30 touchdowns, 11. So even still last year, I mean, look how bad it was. 30 touchdowns in general. Just look at his career stats. If you look at the ESPN stats, okay, he had 19 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and then he had 0 rushing touchdowns. So he wasn't even that good last year. I mean, granted, I understand this offensive line was terrible, but he stared down open receivers. He missed it. So overall, great like a C. If he could go back to a Seattle form, I think he could either be good where he goes back to a Seattle Seahawks form and can be a good bridge quarterback for us, and until we draft our next quarterback either in 27 or 28. Or we're going to suck so bad with Geno Smith, we're going to get the number 1 rated quarterback. And what's going to be potentially a loaded quarterback class with Arch Manning, with Sayin, with Dante Moore, with Maeva. We got a lot of – 2027 so far looks like it's a better quarterback class, but everyone says about 2026. Remember last year when people were like, oh, 2026 is better than 2025, bro. Carson Beck underperformed. Who else underperformed? Arch underperformed. Aller underperformed. It's such an improvement. People are going to say 27 is better than 26. Let's see how many of the quarterbacks next year are going to be underperformed. Like, let's be honest. And another free agency news, we signed Joseph Asai. I think he could be a very good defender. He's disciplined. He shows fight, character. Really, he has a lot of fight and character. Tank for Ty says, let's not get doped again, Max. Let's draft Ty Simpson. We are not taking him at number 2, guys. We are not taking him at 2. Sorry. We are not taking him at 2. That's just not going to happen. No. We're not going to take Ty at 2. Jay Reeves says Ty at 2. It's not going to happen. We're not taking Ty at 2. I wouldn't take him at 2. I wouldn't take him at 16. Maybe at 33 if he's still on the board, but I'll take him 33 or 44. But honestly, if I want to go quarterback, guys, as I say before, tank for Ty, Pavia, Drew Aller, or Diego Pavia is better. But I actually want the Jets to get Diego Pavia. Because all these analysts are going to be like, oh, he's 5'9", oh, he's short. Bro, come on. Pavia's a big arm. That's really not going to be short, but his arm he's a big arm. He's talented. He can make any throw, and he turned around Vanderbilt football. If you could turn around Vanderbilt football from like the doldrums of the SEC to a playoff contender, then you could turn around the Jets. The Jets have been terrible. We've been directionless for 15 years. We've been out of the playoffs. We've been terrible. We've been directionless. And if Pavia can bring this team to a competitive, if we could be competitive, 6, maybe even 7 wins, we could be a much improved football team. You know, Aaron Glenn might stay for another year if we improve, but we need to improve. Mad Max, I want you making the deals for the Jets. Said Muji signing deals, saying, "Can you hear me?" All the NFL GMs.
Yo, what's up, you guys? How you doing?
Good.
If you guys can hear me, can you guys put a thumbs up in the chat, please? Right now, everyone put a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
Put a thumbs up for my roommate. This is my.
I don't know if they even can hear me though.
They can hear you. Come on, they can.
I want you making the deals with the Jets instead of.
Oh man, Muji, and Mr. Aaron. Trust me, bro. Glenn, better make a move. Better make some good moves in the draft, guys.
So here's my take on the Jets. So, I mean, we can all agree that okay, the Jets aren't like a good football team. I think you guys need new players, new athletes specifically. I would say we can blame Aaron Glenn for all the bullshit that team has done this entire season, but ideally, like we can also say that maybe the athletes are just trash. Like, I mean, like you guys need new everything. Like, let's be honest. Otherwise than that, I think you guys need a new coach. I mean, I can't really say too much because I'm a Commanders fan. We've actually fired like all of our coaches, but we were still shit. So, you know, like our last season was like last year? It was like really good. I mean, we literally lost the Eagles that would have got us to the Super Bowl. So people said that we just had luck. I mean, you have to understand what is the definition of luck. I mean, yes, luck is something that doesn't always happen, but we kind of made it further than almost any other team, at least last year, 2024, 2025. But yeah. So for the Jets specifically, you guys need to like start to realize, okay, maybe the athletes that are playing on the Jets are just shit. Get some new athletes. Maybe trade with some other teams, okay, and see where that takes you guys. Because I can guarantee you, even if you do have a shitty coach, if you guys actually had decent players, you guys would probably like do it like at least 25% better. But who was your QB this season? Was it
Well, we had Justin the Crybaby Fields.
Okay.
We had Justin Fields, or as we like to call him in Jets land,
Okay,
Justin the Crybaby Fields.
Right. Okay, that dude was not good. He was not a good QB, and I remember you complaining about that like maybe 3 months ago. He's not good. So yeah. So
Eli Bet says, Max, how's your workout journey been? You know, say your results. I have bigger muscles than me. What do you?
I work out consistently, but I have a quiz tomorrow, so I gotta like, study. So I took a break.
Yeah, but what Malachi, what's your thoughts on Beast? Say what are your thoughts on Thunder Beast?
Thunder Beast, the guy you're competing with, in the
Beast Breaker.
Tasmaniac thing.
Yeah.
I think Beast is just jealous that because you're just more popular than him.
But he got eliminated by Leany, so.
Dang, so he didn't even get eliminated by you.
Yeah, he got eliminated by 16 seed.
You guys see that?
He got eliminated by 16 seed Leany from NC.
You guys see that? He got eliminated before he even got to compete.
He says, "Tank for Ty." Says Thunder Beast is legendary.
He's legendary, but he's not on Mad Max's level. He's not on my boy's level.
Yes, sir. I mean, he doesn't have big muscles. You know, he just sits in his lair all day.
Right.
Just sits in his lair.
This dude is like Peter Griffin, but like the human version. So when you think of Thunder Beast, like Just imagine yourself like living in like some weird basement where no one can enter or come out, and you have to like just find whatever you can find in the room to be able to survive. There's mess everywhere, and you can't do nothing. That is Thunder Beast.
Yeah, true.
Make sure when you see him again, you tell him that.
Oh man, B says bug bugs.
Roast you, make sure you tell him that.
I mean, B says bug bugs. What's your thoughts on that? That's what Gary King says.
What?
Jake Assen entered the studio. What's up, Jake Assen?
Yeah, baby, Mad Max. Oh yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on the free agency moves? I was grading a little Geno Smith. He was bad. You know, he's very bad. Saints Rose.
Max, stop farting on your own show.
No, but what are your thoughts on the Geno move, Jake?
Max, on your own show? Come on, dude.
Nah,
What are you doing?
Nah, but what's your thoughts on the Geno move? It was what would you grade it, Jake? Because I think great to see. Great to see. Good job.
Good job.
How great to see. I
Can
mean,
you hear me?
it was bad. It was very bad last year with the Raiders. It was bad, but really, I was watching what went wrong. He stares at receivers for too long. You know, he
Mad
only-
Max,
was
you're out of your mind.
That's a go. That's actually the one of my boys used. How did you use that one?
Mad Max, fear me and my godlike voice.
Yes, sir, Jake.
Mad
Jake,
Max, you are a legend.
Thank you, Jake. So, what are your
What's
thoughts
on the agenda tonight, Mad Max? It's a Thursday night.
I have a soccer game, Jake. We got a soccer game going on.
What time's the game?
11 o'clock.
Your game is at 11 p.m.
Yes, sir, Jake. It's very late
Where are you playing this soccer game?
on the intramural fields. Jake,
You actually have a rec league game at 11 p.m. at night?
it's an intramural soccer league, Jake.
What type of league is this, Mad Max?
This is an intramural soccer league that Rowan does. It's IM League, so
That's unbelievable. I can't.
Believe that. Wow.
But we were talking about free agency. Geno, great to see. I think Minka Fitzpatrick is an A, and then Demario Davis is an A.
Quarterback, New York Jets.
We got to get Diego. Jake, what's your thoughts on the Diego Pavia move?
You're taller than Diego Pavia, Max.
I think he's talented though. Look at him, just because he turned around Vanderbilt.
Mad Max, have you ever tweaked before?
No.
What do you do when someone you're with right now is tweaking?
I would not do anything. Don't do that, Jake. Brigham will get pissed. What's your thoughts on that, Jake? The Brigham thing?
Dave Bringer is a man amongst the boys, Mad Max. That's what I think of Dave
Yo,
Bringer.
Jake, do you think the Jets need new athletes to make your team better? Because I was telling Max, he thinks it's just the coach, but I think the athletes are kind of trash too.
I think the Jets need to just fumigate the entire
You guys need to
organization.
do everything. Like,
Just
you might
start
even
over.
need a new name. Like,
Just completely wipe the slate clean and let Mad Max be the coach. He'll do the salsa dance better than Aaron Glenn.
That's true.
right? Yep, that's true.
Well, Mad Max and wait, Max, what's your roommate's name again?
Malachi.
Yeah.
And Malachi. I hope you two have a wonderful night. I have to deal with this tweaking situation on my end.
Yep, that's true.
Go Jets, and good luck with the soccer game at 11 p.m. Score a goal, Mad Max and Malachi. Score a goal.
I play.
Score a goal.
We're just like a little for, ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Jake Assen on the show with his sussy man voice right there. The legend.
The legend himself, Jake Assen.
So what position do you play, Max? We should play a little forward tank for Ty. LMAFO, true. Jake Assen had a little man voice. He had a little filter on.
I could barely hear him through your mic. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm just listening through your headphone. I can't.
So what do you think? What do you think of the What do you think of the wonderful as? What do you think of Asmania Madness for each of the
I think
regions?
It's actually pretty cool. So yeah, whatever you guys
Rank the regions, like rank the because I'm gonna pull up the brackets. So like, what do you think of each of the regions that are coming up late with the round of 32. You know, with the Dangerous Alliance. You know,
Yeah.
I'm in the Dangerous Alliance, but like maybe, but really, let's go to the other regions. Maybe let's go to the so inside outside region. So we got Kyle Clifton versus Rob the Jets fan. Who do you think is going to win that matchup, guys? What do you guys think? Who's going to win that
I don't
matchup?
know who these people are.
Jake Asman callers.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea.
Jay Reeves says Mad Max
I'm
winning
rooting
it
for
all.
Mad Max, though. I'm rooting for Mad Max, so I don't care whoever is going up against who. Mad Max is my boy. He's winning this. It doesn't even matter who's competing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We're all rooting for Mad Max. Woo!
Yes, sir. Me and Malachi, the tag team. We're gonna be tag teaming.
Someone even
We
said
got
Mad Max is
Australian
winning
Jet.
it all.
We got Australian Jets fan. That's we already beat James B. So Australian Jets fan is next up. You know, he thinks he's gonna compete, but it's not gonna happen.
Right.
But that's not gonna happen. You know.
Not gonna lie, this week flew by really quick.
It did.
Dude, it was just Sunday. Now
Just
tomorrow's
on.
Friday.
Yeah, true. Week's always. Take for Ty says easy dub for Mad Max.
That's exactly what I said before.
Probably gonna be 80. It's gonna be 86-14. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
But really, other breaking sports news, you know, the Phillies defeat the Texas Rangers 5-3. You know, the Phillies look dominant. You know, the Yankees shut down the Giants yesterday on opening day, 7-0. You know, it was a dominant performance by the Yankees. You know, just super dominant last night. It was just dominant. Like, look at the Yankees yesterday. They were 7-0. They didn't allow San Francisco to score a run. It was for recap, Aaron Judge scored a run, and then Max Fried allowed 2 hits, but I just think it was overall. Beast is happy because Red Sox won. Why would Beast support the Red Sox, honestly, Bill M? Why would he support that? Honestly, why would he support that? You know what I mean? Jay Reeves says, "Let's go Yankees." True. Why would anyone in New York support the Mets? I'm much more of a casual. I support both the Yankees and Mets, but really, I slightly lean towards the Yankees. Like, come on, we gotta support the Yankees. The Yankees are just more New York's team than the Mets. Jay Reeves, like, let's be honest here. New York's team's the Yankees, not the Mets. Okay, but let's go back to the Jets, shall we? So we got Joseph Asai. I'll agree that it'd be. He brings a lot of toughness. He brings character. He brings fight to this defense that we don't have. Our defense last year didn't have fight. We didn't have character. We didn't have anything. Other breaking Jets news: the Jets re-signed Andre Cisco to 1-year deal. Here are my initial thoughts. Horrible move. It was terrible. Probably a terrible move. Andre Cisco should be pumping gas in Jersey somewhere because the guy can't cut it. He's boring. He's lazy. He was shit last year. He was like shit on a straw. He was terrible. So bad last year. Bill M says, Max, all of New York City were Mets fans in 86 over the Red Sox. Okay, there were all the New York City fans, or maybe Mets for like a couple years, or maybe recently because the Mets have been good. But the Mets have been crap for years. Yankees are always superior to the Mets, honestly. Bill M. It's kind of like house divided. Probably would disagree with my boy Brandon though. He says, "Oh, the Mets are New York's team, not the Yankees." Like, bro, honestly, who supports the Yankees? Who supports the Mets? One case right there. Bill M. Jay Reeves, Mets stink. Come on, they beat the Pirates all in 5. They weren't even that bad today. Support guy Max, love you all. Thank you. Support me. We have 106 subscribers on my show. 106. We don't have a lot of subscribers. Good luck in your game, Maximus. I'm out. Thank you so much, Tank for Ty. Have a good day. Have a good night, Tank for Ty. But let's see. Well, let's see what Jets X Factor poses. Let's see, because Because, it's kind of long road article about could the New York Jets shock the world take Jeremiah Love? It's not going to happen. Why would you take a running back at 2? Probably the stupidest move of all time. People in the chat saying, oh, let's just take Jeremiah Love. It's not going to happen, guys. We're not going to take Jeremiah Love. It's not going to happen, It's just not going to happen, We don't take – I got it with Saquon, but there's rare running back exceptions. You don't take a running back at 2. You just don't. You can take running back in the mid-first round, just not 2. You just don't. The last time a running back was drafted 2 is Saquon Barkley. Okay, he was good because John Carter was drafted number 1 in 1995, and he got ACL injuries. So, if you take a running back at 2, unless it's generational, it's always going to disappoint, guys. Jeremiah Love would be better in the mid-first round, not 2. Chris BC Jets fans is J3 siblings. My guy, Bill M. True, Chris BC. That is so true. Let's see what other articles that kind of long. Arvell Reese could send Jets fan. Wow. It's been scrutinized. They're talking about this workout drill but who cares about workout drill? We need players that are fighters. We need players to keep moving forward. Who cares about drill? We need players to just fight all the time, It's true. We need players that fight. Look at this. Let's see this social media. I'll show you this social media post. What was wrong with that?
They can see your screen.
No, I was just saying there was. I would draft him over that. But look what the people on Twitter says. Let's see what people on Twitter says. Let's see what people. Let's see what people on Twitter. Let's see what people say on this Twitter shit. I don't know about that, but you look slow. Really, that doesn't look slow to me. Really, that doesn't look slow. Like, come on, you really because you drop, bro. I ran track, bro. That guy's faster than I am. So honestly, can't believe this is posted low. Chris Vicario, not a first round pick. Chris Vicario, you're in the hole. Probably the stupidest take I've ever seen. Just because the guy ran a little slow. Like, come on. Look at him. He's so faster than me. Ha ha ha. Russian Bane versus. Oh, look at it. Look at the guy ran faster. Why is he so stiff? You can't take this guy over Bane if looking for an edge rusher. Really? Just because the guy ran a little slower. Arvell Reese plays multiple positions on defense. Jay Reeves says Reese or Bailey Max. I don't have a preference. Just I think Reese can be better than Bailey, but we need Jay Reeves. We need players that are fighters. They keep moving forward. We need players that have muscles. We just need players that fit the American mold, fit the Jets mold, hard workers, tough, a lot of character. But really, Arvell Reese, better player. Okay, the drill is bad. Does a drill correlate to production? No, a drill doesn't correlate to production. No, it doesn't. That's why his project at a pass rusher really looking glass F. Probably one of the stupidest takes I've ever seen. Probably the stupidest takes. Go Birds. What the fuck is this? He's playing hide and seek with his kids. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This man moving like he doesn't want to go number 2 to the Jets. He's still going to be drafted by the Jets. Is there an injury? Way too athletic, not be getting lower and turning faster. Oh, well, guess has to fall pick 10. Really, just because of a workout? It's not going to – it got to be the stupidest thing to fall because of a workout. You know what I mean? That's just dumb. Yeah, keep him a linebacker, really. He on his tippy toes, like he's sneaking on his mama's kitchen with her double stuffed Oreos. Bro, these people on Twitter are just dumb. These people on Twitter are just stupid. Okay. Yes, this probably hurt his stock more than helped it. Unless the team is going to keep him primary linebacker, I would get the hype with him going early. I think Styles is a better pure linebacker prospect than an edge. I don't know if he's better than other guys, but I should go top 10. Bro, because of a bad workout, really? All these people overreacting over Twitter. Look at that. Wow, everyone's just going to overreact because of a combine workout. Like, are you crazy? Look at everyone. Let's go on this Twitter.
IQ. Obviously, he doesn't have a ton of reps as a true edge rusher, but Abel Reese has a rare combination of violence, freak athleticism, football IQ. Obviously, he doesn't have a ton of reps as a true edge rusher, but the few he does show he has the ability to be dominant as an edge. This play, he just uses a long arm and knocks the right tackle into the quarterback for a sack. On this play, he squared up to the line of scrimmage, looking for that crack block. It doesn't come. Then he reads pass, and he kind of lulls the tackle to sleep, explodes past him, uses his arm to rip through the punch. You can see the closing speed as he pressures the quarterback. On this play, he's lined up behind the line of scrimmage. You can see he's anxious. He doesn't get the chance to rush the passer that much, so when he does, he's juiced up. You can see him explode off the edge, uses his hands to swipe away that outside hand and bend and get a sack. But my favorite trait for Reese is he has dynamite in his hands. And if you're going to use a running back to block him, do so at your own discretion because that running back is going to get knocked back. I would love to see Reese in a blitzing scheme where he gets to move around and you could create mismatches like this for him. Here's another play where he gets matched up by a running back. He's going to go through the B gap to a running back, take an inside path, and boom, just knocks him into the quarterback, head whips back. It's just a mismatch. This running play, 87 is going to insert block on him. Reese just lowers the shoulder, knocks him back, totally depletes him, gets in on a tackle. On run plays, it's just going to be tough to one-on-one block him as a tight end. He does such a good job of knocking these guys back in the line of scrimmage. And even against tackles, he does a good job of shedding blocks. He's one of the best block destruction linebackers you're going to see on film. And he's phenomenal as a quarterback spy because of his athleticism. Here he's going to spy Damon Williams, one of the better dual threats in the country.
Eli Betts says, Max, is Reese your pick at 2? I would draft him at 2. Definitely good. He could definitely win. Chris BC's New York Jets fan says, with 3 first-round picks next year, we're moving in the right direction, even if we're still ways from competing. Let's see, Chris. You know, we could maybe move in the right direction, but I think for right now, Chris, the only way we're going to move in the right direction is getting rid of Aaron Mister. Trust me, bro, Glenn, as a head coach. That's the way we're going to be moving in the right direction. Because right now, Aaron Glenn's not the coach for us. He's just not the right coach. But I would love to be proven wrong, Chris BC. Jets Johnny. Chris BC, our Jets have shown a deep understanding of who we are, a team that first has to get serious in order to build under Glenn after 2025. That's true, though. Jets Johnny says, Bill X, nah, I love Dave. Had to bust his chops, but he might actually try to fight me. Lol. True. Bill M says, Jay not till he calls you just Sibs. LO. True.
He's a step behind, but you can see his explosiveness, being able to track down Damon Williams, who tried to juke him.
Let's see what else is. Mike Anania wrote an article about the 2026 NFL draft quarterbacks who best fits the Jets scheme. He says Simpson. He says Simpson, Pavia, Taylor Green, and Luke Altmaier. Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller. Wow. So mainly this Jets articles using Reich's offensive scheme that Simpson might be the best quarterback, but I wouldn't draft Simpson that high. I just wouldn't. But guys, it was really fun going live with you tonight. I have to head out in a minute or two because I have a soccer game at 11 o'clock. So make sure to subscribe to the Maximaniac Jets Show. We currently have not a lot of subscribers. I'll answer some chats before we leave, but he should have numbered the 4 prospects and then done analysis of each. True, but Pavia is good. Nussmeier is decent. He just fell off last year. Eli Betts says, great show. Thank you so much. But currently, we don't have a lot of subscribers. But if you guys like this show today, subscribe to my show, Maximaniac Jet Show. We currently don't have a lot of subscribers. We only have 108 subscribers. I want to get to at least 500 by the end of the month. I'll see you next time, and go Jets.